there. Welcome to Tech Talk Weekly. I'm Bob from Creation Station. This is our weekly show where we take about 15-20 minutes, give you three interesting news stories for the week, send you on your way hopefully a little bit smarter, and with a cool library fact. If you ever have a story you want us to feature, Creation Station at broward.org comes right to me and we'll be glad to feature it. Today, I have Miss Kim Butler here with us for the library system. How are you doing, Kim?
I'm great, Bob. How are you?
Life now, Kim is in charge of HR for the library system. So she makes sure that everybody like hired me and got me promoted and everything like that. So thank you very much. Um, but tell everybody a little bit more about that, about what goes on with HR for such a big system.
Okay, we have about 36 or so library locations, about say over 800 employees, whether that's full-time, part-time, including some grant funded BPMs, positions. So we're a huge
Oh
library
yeah.
system. So there's always something going on in the HR world that relates to staffing, compensation, labor relations matters. That's always happening
Oh yeah.
because we're human beings. Um, so,
Yeah,
in
it's
the
a
world of
huge thing.
HR, it's always
Yeah.
something.
Libraries alone takes up like over a quarter of the county workforce, I think. It's just,
Exactly.
yeah, it's a huge, you guys have a huge task out there.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
But
I
all
found a
that
story
said,
that
and there's
we're going to
always something
grab.
going on.
Yeah, I found a story I'm going to grab some of your expertise on too here in a minute. But first, there's some other stories that are out there that are really interesting today. This one caught my eye. Um, I had you listen to the voice. What did you think, Kim?
It was weird. It
Wasn't it? So
was
the
weird.
story is all
It
about
was
there's a
weird,
new
but
company called
intriguing at the
Sonet,
same time.
isn't it?
Yes.
I'm like, wow, we can't play it for you here. It's a little bit longer piece, but of course the link will be in the show notes for you to be able to go listen to it for yourself. Just listen first, maybe with your eyes closed. Pretend you didn't hear me say this next line. It's not a person. It's all AI. Just type some stuff in, and the computer generated all of the sounds and put it together. It's not like any of the voice assistants that you're used to with Siri or anything that's a recorded voice or those little choppy computer voices. This was like, wow.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I mean, can you imagine adding this with a deep fake of some kind, or not even just an art, just using the new stuff, doing like a 3D avatar?
I think that is so creative,
Yeah.
and intriguing and weird all
Something
at
we're
the
gonna
same
get.
time. But weird to me is always good, you know? That
Yeah.
means
I mean,
it's
it,
different
this
from
definitely,
anything
I think,
else.
fits in. The immediate one I thought about, because they were talking about, oh, we're just using love as a general theme. The immediate thing I thought of was, well, wait a minute. Now you can have a virtual therapist instead of having someone with that clunky voice or having to do it by chat or text. You can just create these voices
Yeah,
that match just about anyone that you want to, so someone can feel like they're really connecting with someone who's of their culture, or they've got the
exactly.
same kind of accent.
Right.
I was just like,
It's pretty exciting. But I
yeah,
love face
this
to
is.
face. I'm still a face to face girl.
See, I do so much stuff. I was doing
I
so
know
much stuff
you're
online
so
before
techie.
the pandemic. That's all.
Yes. But
Yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think we all have adjusted to living online a bit more over these last couple of
Oh,
years,
yes.
right?
Yes, we have to really be careful to not to get too in tuned with online where we miss out on the other things that are happening out there and around us, you know. So
Yeah.
gotta be
I agree with
careful.
you on that one. And that kind of leads us into this other next story too. And this is right in your wheelhouse here.
My alley, yeah.
So about the metaverse and being online all the time. And one of the things that this article talks about is what's going to happen with employment law. And we're not asking Kim to say anything official about any county, library, anything. This is just purely speculative ideas because we are not doing this. Um, but the idea of what rules apply to you, whether it's employment rules, whether it's any of those sorts of different things for your different locations. Should it apply where you are sitting as you put the goggles on? Should it apply where your employer is, where they're way out? Your employer could be anywhere else in the world, or could
Exactly.
it be where the servers are that your avatar's interacting with, and do that?
I
What's your
think
first
there
gut
has,
on it, Kim?
yeah, I think it has to be some connection to a device where you know someone's actually working. You
And
cannot quantify. Um, well, you can see production as well. You have to have some measure of what performance or productivity looks like, um, to actually govern that type of uh, work from home type venture, and having that tech component, meaning they have to be on a server for a certain amount of time
yeah,
working. um, just to have some measures in there and make sure that those are being that people are being in compliance,
yeah, and
meeting those.
the big twist to all this then becomes GDPR. Because if you're traveling international borders, for anybody who doesn't know, I've got it up here on the screen, the General Data Protection Regulation,
Mhm.
which is a law in Europe that governs your private data and where it can be done and what has to happen with it. Facebook slash Meta is in a big argument right now with the European regulators, and they're threatening to pull Instagram from the EU if they don't change some of their things. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm always puzzled on this one
it's
because
ever
it's
changing though. It's ever
yeah.
changing. It's very fluid. It's something that, like you said, it's new to us. It's something that we're still getting used to.
Hmm.
But I think we will get to have a handle on things sooner or later, whether we want to or not.
Yeah, and
Um,
this is already happening in taxes too.
yeah,
I know for
happening
this
all around
past
us.
tax year. Yeah, this past tax year, if you were working from home and you're working in a different state than where your employer is incorporated, now you have different withholdings and everything that
Yes.
people are finding out on all this. So,
Yeah, lots of changes to come.
yeah, we are not financial advisors. Please consult your own tax
Please.
consultant and find. Yeah, I always wonder about these things because it's throwing in that server idea, like you said. It's like, where are you doing the work? Is it the work that I am physically doing on my end, typing on the keyboard? Is it where that work is produced because it's coming up on a server somewhere else?
Yeah,
It's
I think when you have built-in performance measures and ways of having to measure that productivity, you should be fine.
hmm
I mean, virtual working ability, this has been around before the pandemic.
oh yeah.
There were people doing this before, um, out there in the private sector, because we're government. It's not as prevalent, but we do have some
hmm
work from home here. So, I mean, there were already measures there. So I don't know that it's so different and fast that it will not serve us well, so to
Yeah.
speak. It just depends. You're just gonna have to do things differently.
Yeah, I think it's going to, and like you said, it's always changing, always going to keep moving and doing. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
It's We
HR
have a
is
future.
exciting.
Oh,
It's
isn't
exciting
it?
every day. Every day is something different to
The
look forward
future,
to.
the future is supposed to be fun.
Yes. Well, when there's human beings involved, it's always fun.
Our next story, I started to mention Instagram. This is an interesting twist on advertising slash internet usage type things. This actually comes about from a conversation I was having with somebody else online about internet usage this week. And Instagram has always had a way of filtering how much time you spend on the app. Same, most apps actually do if you start digging into it. And you can go into your phone settings and set those things up too. But Facebook Meta decided that they were going to advertise the limits for Instagram.
Mhm.
And they quietly changed it from 15 minutes to 30 minutes as the lowest number you could set for how much time a day you could use the app.
Well, I mean, they want more usage out of their
Yeah.
participants. So, you know, I mean, I
Hmm.
think that they already probably have that average with how we have the uptake of us going online more anyway.
Yeah.
So, that changed. So I guess their parameters have changed too, along with that. So,
Yeah, actually, they've had less engagement over the fourth quarter last year was the first time that Meta, Facebook, had lost users and had people spending less time on the platform. So it's kind of you're right. It's like, well, we need you to spend more time, so we're going to up that bottom number there for
exactly,
you.
that's the way to participate. Keep you
Yeah.
participating
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah. And just so you know, you had your kids are grown now, but you had kids. How did you deal with them on the internet when they were growing up?
Well, there's always cutoff times. Like I had a range of time devoted to homework, devoted to fun, devoted to internet was not more than an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have one child. I want my daughter to be active and doing other things other than just being online. She loved playing online games and she only had an hour to do that. So if she wanted to cut into that hour to do other online things,
Yeah.
not related to homework,
Hmm.
then she would have to break that online engagement up for doing her games, online games, and doing other things.
Yeah.
And
I set it up for myself.
she loves to read, so
Good.
that was
That's a
another
very
part
good
of
thing.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I set myself up. My phone actually turns to a grayscale, black and white,
Yeah, you
at
have to, or
at
else
10
you're
o'clock,
gonna
just to
just
force
stay.
myself to like, wait, you've been on here for way too long. You need to
The
put this
internet
down.
is so addictive.
Yeah. Well, I think it's not the internet per se, but
It's
it's the
what's on it.
how you're accessing and what you're accessing. And it's like
Exactly, it's what's on
if
it.
you're
Yes,
just purely consuming like a hose coming down, yeah, that's a bad problem. If you're
yes.
interacting, if you're out there reading on a news story, or I participate on, several Discord discussion groups, you know, I feel like that's a much better use of my time being creative and interacting with people than just watching another video or doing whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And we've
Um,
got a last story today about interacting and doing things because I thought this was just so cool. I couldn't cut this story out. So in
this
Australia,
is cute.
wasn't it?
What's
So
cute?
in Australia, they're doing some research with magpies, very, very smart birds. And the magpies decided they didn't want to be part of the experiment anymore. And so they were helping each other. I've got a picture of it here
So
where they
smart.
had a little harness on their back to carry a little tracker so the scientists could figure out where the birds were going, what they were doing, and stuff like that. The birds were helping each other take the trackers off.
Off. They're so smart. I think it was
Wasn't it?
that was just phenomenal. I thought they were so smart.
They just,
So
you,
intriguing.
I know.
It's my favorite word.
Oh, nice. It
Intriguing.
was one of those things where I was just like, wait a minute, this is just too funny because one, it's a funny story in that, yeah, the birds are outsmarting the scientists, but then it's like, this is actually proving they're smart. They have
Their abilities
not only are
to
they intelligent, but
explore.
they
Yeah.
have some kind of culture slash, they understand the individual's differences. They can help each other out. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Impressive. Very
yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, we got to come up with a way of meeting with these people and helping these people out a little bit better, and figuring out a way to treat everybody, animals and all the people better in this
Better.
world. I think,
That should be our goal, is to
there
be
we go.
better individuals to ourselves and others around us every
Yeah,
day. And every day is a new day. You get to do it over again.
yeah. I keep saying we're not going back to normal. I want to go back to better.
Exactly. That's a
Normal
good
was not a great thing
I
for a
like
lot of
that
people. Well, let's
perspective.
let's make it better.
Yes. I like
I
that very
do
much.
want to share a quick library thing that I'm involved with for this Saturday. Tomorrow night, Friday, we've got Moonlight Tales down here at
Yes,
Main
I'm
Library.
definitely going to Moonlight Tales tomorrow
Yeah,
night and looking
yeah,
forward to it. I think it's going to be amazing. Um, so I'm very much looking forward to it right after
yeah.
work.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, and it's right outside of Main Library here, guys. It's right there in the park.
Yeah,
It's going to be outdoors. Beautiful night. The weather looks like it's
yeah,
going
I
to be
hope we'll get
gorgeous.
a really good turnout.
Yep. And then if you are not down here in South Florida, or even if you are, we have the Tell Your Story 2022 event going on. It's Your Right, WRITE. That's put on by North Regional Library. And it's an event all day long, starting the first one starts at 11 o'clock in the morning and it runs all the way till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. A whole set of seminars with professional artists, authors, publishers, agents, people to be in here and talk and figure out what you want to do to get your work out there to the world, whatever you're being creative on. So come on out and be part of that on Saturday if you get a chance.
Sounds exciting.
It is. It's a really nice conference. It's almost like a mini conference that we've been
Yeah.
doing and stuff like that. Kim, you got anything going on in the library world, Kim?
Well, I mean, we are all, like I said, in libraries HR, we are always doing something, especially right now, we are doing a lot of hiring. So recruitments are at a high,
Good, good,
um,
good, good.
which is good. We're getting
Yeah.
a whole lot of new employees in and lots of interviews and ratings going on. So just exciting
Yeah,
things
my
every
hand
day.
still hurts from doing those writing panels. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you had like a stack of.
I know. Which
But
is
it's
crazy
exciting.
sometimes.
The end goal is to get someone a superstar,
Yeah, yeah,
get
good people to bring
or
in.
a many superstars
Yeah,
join our team. So, pretty exciting. So we thank you for that pile that you
yeah.
had to go through. So
That and I do all the onboarding for new county hires also. So
look at
that's
that. You
yeah,
get
I
to
get to
introduce
if you get hired by the county, I'm
amazing.
going to be the one helping train you and teach you all sorts of fun new things.
I know.
Broward.org/careers. You
Yes.
can go look there and you can see all of the different
Bye.
job openings we have in the county and in the library in particular. Come on in.
Make sure you apply.
Thank you very much for being here, Miss Kim.
Thank you,
Again, days
Bob,
just
for having
fly on
me.
by that fast, isn't it? Let's
No, it's
let's
almost
throw up our final slide here. It's just crazy. Um, again, Creation Station at Broward.org comes right to me. If you want to see your favorite librarian or library featured one of these weeks, just let us know and tune in next week. We'll see you all then. Have a great day, guys. Stay safe.
Thanks, Bob. Take care, everyone.